for today's lessons, we're going to talk about the properties of real numbers. Some of these properties will be a review to you. Some of them will be a bit new, but all the properties apply to when we are solving equations. So the first property we're going to discuss is the commutative property. And this property only applies to addition and multiplication. The main idea is that order does not matter. All right, so when we add two numbers together, for example, A plus B, we can also add B plus A and get the same result. All right, as a numeric example, 5 plus 3 is equal to 3 plus 5. This also applies with multiplication. So if I multiply two numbers together, A times B, I get the same result if I multiply B times A. A numeric example, 2 times 6 is equal, 6 times 2 is equal to 2 times 6. All right. With the associative property, this also only applies to addition or multiplication. The grouping of values does not matter. So the grouping of values does not matter. So for example, if I have A plus B in parentheses plus C, I would get the same result if I have A plus B and C grouped together. This also applies for multiplication. If I have A times B and then multiply by C, I get the same result if I have B and C grouped together and multiplied first and then A. All right. For the identity property stays the same. All right. So think of your identity. No matter what you change your hair color to, what outfit you put on, you are still you. So the identity of addition is 0. So anything plus 0 is itself. And for multiplication, the identity is 1. So anything times 1 is itself. Okay? For the inverse property, all right, the inverse property, using opposites or inverse, to cancel a value. All right, so when we're solving an equation, if we want to move 4 over to the right side, a positive 4 over to the right side of the equation, we have to use the opposite or the inverse. So we have to subtract 4 to move it. So for addition, for example, 8 plus a negative 8 will give you 0. Or for multiplication, you have 4 over 5 times 5 over 4, which equals 20 over 20, which then gives you 1. So the inverse property gives you the identity. All right, so anytime you use the inverse, you're going to get the identity of either multiplication or of addition. The zero product property, multiplying by 0 always equals 0. All right, so for example, if we have 17 times 0, that's going to equal 0. And if we have 5x minus 1 multiplied by 0, it is going to give us 0. All right. The distributive property, multiplying a value to an expression inside parentheses. So these are parentheses. We've worked with the distributive property in several examples that we've done. So for example, you have 2 times x plus 7. That's going to give us 2x plus 14. Or if you have negative times the expression x minus 3, you multiply everything by that negative 1, you get negative x plus 3. All right, so in some time or another, these properties that we've just discussed, you may have heard about in the past or worked with in the past. Now we're going to get into some of our newer properties. All right. So our newer properties, the following properties will be new to you. Flashcards are suggested to help you with these properties. So the first one is the reflexive property. And the main idea behind the reflexive property is that a value will always equal itself. So for example, A equals A. So when we solve multi-step equations with infinite number of solutions, 16 equals 16, 7x equals 7x, 4y squared equals 4y squared. It will always equal itself. All right. So then the symmetric property. If A equals B, then B equals A. So for example, when we're solving a multi-step equation with variables on both sides, it doesn't matter whether you move the variable to the left side or move the variable to the right side, it's going to be the same. So for example, if you solve and you move your variable to the left and you get x equals 3, but then you solve and you move your variable to the right, you get 3 equals x. Those are the same. All right, x equals 3, 3 equals x is the same. And then if we had 5x is equal to 30, we know that 30 is equal to 5x. All right, so that's a symmetric property. The reflexive property. If A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. All right. So the transitive property is a little, I don't want to say tough to remember, but it's kind of one of those that you have to think about just a tad bit. So for example, if 4 plus 3 equals 7, and 7 is equal to the square root of 49, then 4 plus 3 is equal to the square root of 49. All right. So we have our if A. So the 4 plus 3 represents our A is equal to 7, which represents our B. Then 7, which is our B, is equal to C. Then we have A, which is our 4 plus 3, is equal to the square root of 49. So basically with the transitive property, it's showing us different ways to get the same result. So we know if we add 4 and 3, we get 7, but also we can get 7 by taking the square root of 49. All right, so it's just kind of looking at like different ways of representing numbers, kind of similar to if we talk about different ways to say hello. So there are different ways to say hello in various languages. This is kind of what the transitive property is basically explaining, that there are multiple ways to show or represent certain numbers. Now you're going to test your understanding of the properties.